Ag Central Co-op, rooted in community, cultivating tomorrow.
What kind of species did you call this? Sorghum? What?
It's Sorghum Sudan.
Sorghum Sudan, okay.
Yeah. Actually, there's 4 different varieties of it that are out here. Yeah.
In the same field?
In the same field. Well, yeah, we just plant them all together. So,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So so I guess in the process of Sorghum Sudan, you're going to cut it, let it dry for a day, rake it, chop it with the Jaguar, and then put it in a silage bale.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
And then,
you could also bale it, and our Claas baler would, but for us, where we've got the baling machine, it makes sense to chop it, where we'll mix it into our rations for this upcoming winter a little easier.
And you're mixing in rations to feed to what? Beef cattle?
Beef cows. Yeah, beef cows. So, you know, we do quite a bit of corn silage as well that we were chopping last week. This though, we needed good weed control in this field. So when we drill this, we get really good weed control. We can spray at once ahead of planting and fertilize it once. It's about half to a third the cost of corn. Very good tonnage, and then for a beef cow, it's a little bit higher in protein, and we're not necessarily worried about energy levels quite as much as we would in dairy cattle because they're not milking quite as heavy.
Right.
So, right. A little bit closer to a complete feed. We still have to supplement a few little things in there, but we can mix some of this in with just a little bit of corn silage to up our energy, and the protein we're not having to add as much extra.
So as far as the beef cows go, not a lot of people, well, I'll say not a lot of people, majority of beef farmers do not mix silage and feed that to their cows. They're setting out hay or whatever. Right. But with this good quality feed, you have the same goal in mind of creating quality milk. It's just a different product you're selling, which would be the calf. You want the milk to raise a good calf rather than selling it as fluid.
Right. And we're probably a hair different than your traditional beef farm in the fact that just about all of our fall calving cattle that have calves on them and are milking during the winter are getting fed a TMR ration, and the vast majority of them are not in confinement but can come into a barn and get out of the weather during the winter. And we're set up, the Trioliet feed mixer that you set us up with a couple years ago is what we use to feed all of those groups during the winter. So about the only time that we just set out round bales of hay is in just really inclement weather. If we know that it's coming and might not be able to get into a field for a day or two, we'll set some out. But even our beef cattle are getting a TMR.
And I know y'all are big into the agritourism too. At the end product, are you selling your calves or selling it as live weight, dead weight? How are you doing that to the consumer?
Both, yeah. So the vast majority of our cattle are going to go into a branded beef program somewhere. There are multiple different options for the cattle that we have that are half Akaushi, the red Wagyu. There are several different branded beef programs that they could go into. We keep 30 to 50 around just about all the time that we sell eventually as fat steers and heifers to people that want wholes, halves, quarters. We do some on-farm meat sales, particularly during our agritourism events.
That's what I was going to ask, if you sold direct from
we do.
On the farm.
We
okay.
Do. And we're about to ramp that up in a little bit more because we're finishing a kitchen on the farm.
Oh, nice.
So we'll have a.
So you'll sell cooked beef.
We will sell
well.
cooked. Yeah, we'll sell cooked products.
So is it going to be a restaurant as well?
I wouldn't call it a restaurant.
Okay.
It'll be more like we'll be open during our marketplace events that we have during our agritourism events. The kitchen will be open to purchase.
And the events he's talking about is on Acres of Grace Farms in Red Bowling Spring, Tennessee, which is what dates?
October the 3rd and 4th is our fall marketplace. We'll have our Christmas marketplace the third weekend in November. And then we'll have our spring marketplace is always the first weekend in May.
Nice.
So
I appreciate you taking the time to explain that to us, and everybody come out and see Acres of Grace Farms in Red Bowling Springs, Tennessee.